Hi, welcome back to You Can Linux for a little Christmas special. We're just back on OpenSUSE. Nothing special. Just because I was on OpenSUSE last time we met. So today I just wanted to do a little episode on how you, a Linux user, can give back to the community since it is the season of giving. So first things first, monies. Devs gotta eat too, right? And I understand if you don't have a lot of money. I will say even small amounts help. But a lot of people, the software, a lot of this software is given away for free, and so it's a problem because, again, the devs do need to eat, right? They need money to live on. And it really helps a project when they have like a paid full-time developer on the project. You'd be surprised at how many major open source programs, how many projects are run by like one full-time developer and the rest are volunteers. These are a lot of these are nonprofits. Not all of them are. I know Red Hat was a $1 billion company before it got bought out by IBM, but it definitely helps out when you donate money. Now, you don't have to give to everything and everyone, and if there's like a piece of software you use all the time, like for example, this is in LibreOffice. You could donate to the LibreOffice Foundation. If you use Linux Mint, you could donate to Linux Mint. If you something you can do is you can donate your money, whatever little you may have, to give to whatever FOSS project you get the most out of, right? And I will also say small amounts over time are better than big boy one-time donations. Now, maybe not everybody feels that way, but I've heard that the KDE Foundation in particular has said that they prefer that people would sign up to give like $5 a month rather than give $200 at once, because the $5 a month is consistent income, right? So, not necessarily true for everything, and maybe I should have mentioned that in the slideshow, but it's just something to think about. Okay, programming. Got them 1337 skills? Use them! I wonder how many people had an aneurysm when I said that. Leave a comment when you recover from your aneurysm to tell me how bad it was. All right. If you have one nice thing you can do, if you are a programmer and you have experience in whatever language the program is written in, when you see a problem, you can just fix it. And most projects are friendly and welcoming. They appreciate when people put in pull requests. For example, if you're I'm not a programmer. If you're a programmer, you know what a pull request is. Or whatever they use. Not every project uses Git. And if they're not friendly and welcoming, well, hey, in the words of Sumeko Saba, fuck them. Just, that's not, if they don't want the help, then they can fuck off. And I will also say, if a project has basically turned into a Nazi bar, maybe you don't want to be there anyway. For example, Omarchy is a Linux quote-unquote distribution created by a white supremacist named DHH. And I would not go anywhere near that So yeah, sorry, I just want to talk shit about DHH for a second. He is such a major asshole. That's why I don't fuck with Framework anymore. I mean, I never bought any of their products anyway, but I don't want to now because, okay, what happened was they listed Omarchy as like something they were supporting, or they announced. I'm fuzzy on the details, but when people pointed out, hey, that's run by a white supremacist, and it's not even a distro, it's literally just a bunch of user scripts to set up Hyperland on Arch. But there was a whole big controversy, and Framework was like, well, here's all the amounts we give to everyone, and they fucking give the same amount to Omarchy as they do to KDE and GNOME. And it's like, okay, if you're a first-time viewer and you don't know what KDE and GNOME are, you don't even need to know what KDE and GNOME actually are. All you need to know is that KDE and GNOME software are ubiquitous within Linux, okay? Omarchy is fucking not. It's a very niche little thing, even if it weren't run by white supremacists. So, yeah. And then, of course, we have bug bounties. Bug bounties, you can get paid by fixing a bug. And each project has its own guidelines and such. They'll tell you what they want. And I'm, of course, not a programmer, never done a bug bounty, but I did want to mention that here. That is one way that you can help out. And that's also a lot of projects do, this ties into the last slide, they get their bug bounty money from donations. See? Okay. And, of course, bug reports related. Okay? And if you don't program, one way you can help is if you see a bug, report it. Let's see here. Let me switch. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see here. Let's switch desktops here. Go to Firefox. And what's a good project? WordGrinder has a GitHub. There we go. Okay, now not every project uses GitHub, but this is a pretty easy one. If you want to submit a bug report on GitHub, you just go to this Issues tab right here. And you hit New Issue. You have to be signed in to do it, I think, but you get the gist, right? And if we go back up here, you should use the designated areas for reporting bugs. Don't just at the developers on social media. And then projects will usually have guidelines on... Hold on. On what information they want. You should absolutely follow them. And look for reports of the same bug before submitting. Okay. If we go to WordGrinder here, I'm not sure if they have any... I'm not sure if they have any specific guidelines, but you can see the bug report, this bug report here. I hope this person doesn't mind being on camera, but I think this is a feature request. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, see, this person didn't include their version. You do generally want to include what operating system you're on, what version of the software you're on. Sometimes they'll ask for where you got the software. I know there was a big to-do with OBS a while back. Well, further back, they had a big to-do with Streamlabs OBS basically being a hostile fork. don't use Streamlabs. Just use regular vanilla OBS. It's, Streamlabs is bullshit. But like, they were getting bug reports for Streamlabs OBS, and Streamlabs OBS, the team is completely different. The things might not work quite the same, and I think they were behind a couple versions anyway. If I remember correctly, that might not be true. But like, their point is, there were problems on Streamlabs that were not the fault of the upstream OBS project, and they were getting bug reports for it, and it's like, we can't help you, And then more recently, there was a big to-do with Fedora. Basically, if you want to install OBS on Linux, the canonical way, canonical is not the word I'm looking for. The supported way to do it is to install it from FlatHub as a Flatpak, right? Well, Fedora has their own Flatpak repository, and they had a version of OBS that was several versions behind, and then when people, went to OBS and were like, hey, I've got this issue, and they were issues that OBS had already fixed in the newer versions. And it's like, we can't help you. This version is no longer supported. So please, please make sure you're sending the right bug reports to the right people as well. And also, one thing you do want to be aware of is that, oh my god, okay. There we go. Okay, one thing you should be aware of is that if you submit a bug report and the issue's already been there, oftentimes it's not like they're going to be mad at you if it's like, if you think the issue is separate, not necessarily. But like, if you don't search it at all and it's like obvious that this is the exact same issue, they might get a little annoyed. Keep in mind, most of these people are volunteers, right? But all you have to do is, for example, in GitHub, you just go back, you go into the search bar, type in whatever your issue is, or keywords related to your issue, and if you don't see one that matches your issue, okay, make a new issue. Hold on. Oh my god. I don't have a lot of slides here. This is probably going to be a short one. Yeah, no, so that's just something you can do. And finally, be patient, okay? Again, these people are volunteers. Sometimes they will ask you for additional information. They are genuinely trying to help you, usually, okay? Usually. If they're not, we'll go back to this. Fuck them. If they are openly hostile and you're not being an ass, like, if it wasn't in response to you being an ass, then fuck them, maybe even stop using that software. But just be patient, be kind, and try to help them help you. And finally, documentation. A lot of projects need help writing documentation. People say, well, a lot of open source software is written by nerds who don't know how to make good UI. Well, the same thing applies to documentation. You can help people you can help these projects by writing that documentation and making it more human readable, I guess you could say. And if you know language other than English, you can help translate the documentation into other languages. And that's a big help. I know that in a lot of areas of the world, they're not as fortunate, well, given the recent political climate, we're not very fortunate here in the US either. But you know what I'm saying, right? A lot of other people aren't as fortunate to have, you know, the other options that are available. Not that Windows is good, but, you know, there's a lot of support for it out there, which, you know, these third world countries cannot, you know, they can't afford new computers. Linux and open source software is often the best thing that they can use, even when it is terrible. I'll admit some open source software is terrible. It's not fit for purpose. It's getting a lot better, and it always has been getting better. But I mean, I'll admit it. You know, it's not always fit for purpose, but sometimes that's all they have. You know, and then and if you know how to do something not in the documentation, you can write it. Again, this goes back to, you know, if there's a problem in the software and you have the programming skills, fix it. Fix the issue. You can, and I've never written documentation for a project, so I don't know what their guidelines are, or, you know, how you request access to their wikis or their whatever they use for their documentation. But basically just, again, follow their instructions. They'll tell you what they want. And if they don't, fuck them. It's a poorly run project and you don't want anything to do with it. Okay. And finally, some little things. Use free and open source software. These devs create this software to be used. And by using it, you are helping them. And tell the devs you love their work. Give them some flowers. Tell them, hey, I really got a lot out of your software. Or tell them, hey, you know, your software got me through school. You know, the LibreOffice. LibreOffice got me through university. Most of it. No, all of it. OpenOffice got me through high school, but by the time I went to university, I had switched to LibreOffice. The funny thing is, when I first switched to LibreOffice, okay, oftentimes I would leave a document, leave OpenOffice open for a while, and then my computer would slow down, and I'd be like, hey, why is my computer so slow? And then I'd look, and I'll be like, oh, right. And then I switched to LibreOffice, and I'd leave it open for like a week, and then look down and be like, oh, that's open. And I wouldn't even notice a performance change. So, yeah, don't use OpenOffice, use LibreOffice. And one other thing you can do is what I'm doing now. Spread the word. Tell everyone about how much you love free and open source software, especially Linux. We could use all the help we can get. I mean, don't be obnoxious about it. I made that mistake. And now people treat me like a vegan when I try to talk about Linux. But, yeah, no, it's something that you get a lot out of. Tell others about it, you know? If they're like, oh man, I don't want to have to pay for Office 365, tell them, just use fucking LibreOffice, bro. I can tell you, all right, a lot of people are like, oh, OpenOffice doesn't have, or LibreOffice doesn't have all the features of Microsoft 365, and it's like, do you really need all those features? I can tell you, maybe 1% of all Office Suite users need those features, right? I mean, Jesus, people used to use fucking, what was that, WordPerfect or WordStar? That was like the perfect word processor, and people didn't want to move off it. But yeah, actually, I think it was WordPerfect. What was that noise? Oh, I think it was WordPerfect. Hold on. I've never used this before, but I thought I'd mention it since I just mentioned WordPerfect. WP Unix. This is another kind of FOSS thing, except it uses proprietary software. It's kind of I guess you'd call it a wrapper for proprietary software. so that you can use it on modern Linux systems. Yeah. Build scripts and patches to make WordPerfect for Unix work on modern Linux. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, give that a try if you're looking for an office suite. All right, back to the slideshow. Hold on. Oh, Shift F5. That's what I need to do. Okay. And finally, use torrents. Okay, this mainly applies to Linux distributions, not free software in general. A lot of Linux distros really do appreciate it when you use torrents instead of direct downloads. And that's because that's a lot less bandwidth on their end. They don't have to pay for as much on their internet bill. And if you do torrent, try seeding a little, you know? Let the torrent tracker you use sit open for a while, you know? Just give back some of that torrent. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment. Please, I love hearing from you. And of course, my socials are at evilrhoda.wandering.shop and at evilrhoda.bsky.social. And we will see you all next time. I'm not sure what distro I'm covering next time. Oh, you know what? Actually, well, next week's Christmas. I'm going to take off for Christmas and possibly New Year's week. But I think what I'm going to do for the first episode back is I'm going to do weird desktop environments featuring Sparky Linux. So look forward to it. Bye-bye.